If you're ever in Mobile, Alabama, go to Dreamland Barbecue. That'd be my recommendation.
And Al's hot dogs.
Yeah, Al's Hot Dogs. There you go. Well, let's get started, folks. I hope everybody had a nice weekend. I'm planning on. I've done a lot of work over the weekend. I really think that we have a chance to have another great week. This is a week that you'll find that we're obviously bullish for the month. We're above our 3-day high, so we got some stocks to look at. But I think it's interesting when you think about things, just where we are from July 21st. And that was the date I said we ought to be able to pull out the stops and bring out the T-Buzz chimpanzee, because I think it's that kind of market. I mean, I'm looking at some of these gains. Here's a special announcement. The Palantir PL, this just blew me away. The Palantir PLTW, the weekly pay, it was up 22% last week. Palantir paying a weekly dividend. Telling you, got to look at that stuff. It's pretty good stuff. I mean, I was in shock when I measured out just that one stock, Palantir. Pretty good stuff. Anybody own the Palantir dividend payer, PLTW? Anybody own that here? David says yes, good. SP, good. A lot of people. Yeah, the NVIDIA was up 12%. Fred, the ticker's PLTW. PLTW. We'll get somebody to type that in there, PLTW. Yeah, the NDVW paid 12%, but that one there, that Palantir one, was something else. It's PLTW, Fred. PLTW is the symbol. PLTW. Yeah, it was up 22%, not counting the dividend. Pays about 50 cents. Yeah, you can go to yieldmax.com or roundtree.com, William, if you want to. I think there's some stocks there. I think what I found, I like, instead of owning the direct stocks like NVIDIA, I like owning NVDW because you get a better return, you got more downside protection. I mean, stocks got to go up. Pays about 120% of what the underlying does, plus the dividend. I'm more attracted to that. You should be too. All right, folks, I want to get started. Thank you for coming. My Adam told me something that just blew my mind. My T-Buzz TV. Take a guess how many people we have on T-Buzz TV. Just take a wild guess. No, that's just, no, 125,000. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That got me my attention. He gave me some numbers tonight. Just sort of got a lot of people. So anyway, I want to get started. Thank you for coming. We're going to have a great week. And risk involved in trading. We always talk about risk and past performances, not indicative of future results. We always cover that. People that don't know, I'm a former Air Force officer, active trader since the 70s, former member of Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I did find, listen to this, you get a kick out of this. In one of the boxes, I had my membership letter from Chicago Mercantile admitting me to the exchange. Found that in one of the boxes, on the top of one of the boxes. I have 3 books: Winning the Day Trading Game, The Markets Never Sleep, and Trade to Win. Let's do a price check on Winning the Day Trading Game. See what the hard copy's at tonight. I'm just curious. I've been following that. Just curious about what that price is doing. Winning the Day Trading Game. Check on Amazon. Somebody type it in there. I'd appreciate it. Worked with students since 1996. Long time, but I love it. Now, today, let me tell you what I got. I got a couple of things. We got an order. We got the 11 o'clock train and trade. But I also inserted a 1 o'clock. It's not in here. The retirement center. 1 o'clock on the schedule. 1 o'clock on the schedule. I'll be doing a retirement center. If you want to be part of what I'm doing, I'm going to start putting stocks on tomorrow afternoon. If you want to be part of that, you need to, let me just think about, I guess, send an email to tbuzztnt@gmail.com. If you haven't, we'll send an invitation if you want to be part of it. I'm doing my training through Tasty Trade. If you want to get a link from us, a referral link, ask Jonathan at Rowe at DTI Trader. That's at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Okay? 1 o'clock tomorrow. Does everybody have that on the schedule? Write it on your schedule. 1 o'clock tomorrow, retirement center. Yep. There you go. And they'll put the email in there if you want an invitation for this. I plan on executing, we're doing a hypothetical 27,000, and tomorrow we will execute on some trades I got picked out for the month of August. Okay? That's at 1 o'clock. Don't forget. 7 o'clock tomorrow night, we got futures first, and I'm coming back at 8. I got a busy day tomorrow, 8 o'clock special session. Tuesday, we've got the Academy, 10:45, the T-Buzz All-Stars there. Train and trade at 11. And 4 o'clock, I have the advanced futures. Advanced futures. Wednesday, we have the Academy. 11 o'clock, I got the train and trade. And 8 o'clock, I got midweek market update. Thursday, this is special training, 9 a.m. SPX XSP, that's XSP class at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to show you a setup I've been doing on the SPX, show you how I do it if you want to show up at 9 o'clock on Thursday. The zero dated options. Anybody ever heard that term? Anybody ever heard that term? Zero dated options. Well, I'm going to be showing you on Thursday about zero dated options. 10:30, we got Academy. 11 o'clock, train and trade. Friday, 11 o'clock, and then 3 o'clock weekly wrap. So that's what the week holds. Got a lot of training there. Who's going to be at the 11 o'clock tomorrow? That's sort of like money hour, okay? Anybody want some money? Well, all you got to do, 11 o'clock tomorrow, train and trade. I want you to know, anytime you miss one of my sessions at 11, you're giving up money. That's the penalty for not showing. Now, if you bring somebody, you make twice as much, right? Okay. Anyway, that's happening all week. This is our second full week to do it. Matt, to get into it, there'll be a link. Adam, how do they get into it like Matt's do? He would like to come. How would he join the train and trade?
It'll be the same link they use to join tonight, dtitrader.com/live, but I'll also post the registration page Right. The next slide covers the topics and stuff.
Oh,
And
okay. It'll be
there's the
on the
racial
next page, you
link.
said. Okay, there you go. Then Friday, 11 o'clock. Okay, let's go to train and trade. Here he goes. Here's what we're going to cover next week. Making money on Mondays. Y'all like the sound of that lesson? How to make money on Mondays? Oh, if nobody told you, I'm all about making the money. Okay, so for us to do this every day, we got to do trading, we got to do training, we got to do both. But making money on Mondays, I love that title. Tuesday, we're going to talk about the 3-day algo and how to play it throughout the month. Okay, how to play it through the month. Thank you, David, for doing that. Wednesday, anybody ever heard 13 was a unlucky number? Anybody ever heard that? Well, I was born on the 13th. I think it's a pretty lucky number, so I'm going to turn 13 into a trading edge on Thursday. I'll show you what I'm talking about. See how to connect the dots between major economic news and intraday price action before the big moves happen. That's what the topic's about. And then Friday, we're doing small options. You know, I like small options. I'm going to show you the big potential, setting one up on August 15th on Friday. So we got a power pack week there, don't we? Okay. I hope this helps everybody with what we laid out. We did a lot of thinking about it, and we got slide decks and everything. We really got a professional job here if you want to show. Train and trade every day. The Retirement Center. Now email Roe at DTI Trader, and he will send you an invitation and a referral link for Hasty Trade. We're going to do the education. The idea here is I'm going to take 27,000 in hypothetical money and show you how to invest it the second half of the year. And I'm doing this at no charge. All you got to do is be there for the education to see how to maximize money inside of retirement accounts. Does that sound interesting to anybody? You want to be part of it? Tell me yes if you want me to do this. This will be at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So I got a big plan to do it for the second half. I think you're going to love it, what we do. Okay? 1 o'clock. In my opinion, markets in a bull market, I'll be playing it mostly from the long side because about 7 out of 10 days it goes higher. Why fight a trend like that? You just got to recognize the days it doesn't go higher and where it turns. Okay? And that's what that's about, in my opinion. Market some days has to breathe. I call it breathing in a bull market. When it's breathing, you'll see me take my hands off the mouse and be patient. Then you hear the words, patience will pay. And they do. Since July the 1st, general index is up about 2%, but some of the stocks that I use, AMD, MU, NVIDIA are up tremendous. Palantir. Folks, I gave you the date, told you when it would happen. It's starting to happen right now. I think you'll see the general indexes climb from here. Seven Sisters, 7.82% for the year for the E-mini. NASDAQ's up 11.47. Dow's up 3. DAX is up 21%. That's Europe, folks. Gold made a new high last week. I told you about 2 weeks ago, gold was going to break out of its trading range. It's starting to break out. Up, made a new high last week. Crude oil. I told you it was going to go lower. Crude oil's in the 63. My target on crude is about $45 a barrel. Bonds. I told you bonds were going to go higher once they got above the pivot. Guess where bonds are tonight? Anybody know? I think bonds are going to become an active play for us, okay? Somebody might have their mic on, Daniel, if you're getting an echo, because that's the only thing I can know. One of the other people might have their mic on. Y'all check it if somebody's getting an echo. Okay, Daniel?
No mic's on, audio is good. Daniel, just maybe you might need to relog.
If that doesn't help, sign out and sign back in. Get another server to get you connected. That's what Adam's talking about. I have to do that sometimes. All right, here they are, folks. Now, most people would post these stocks. Oh, this is a good buy. Oh, this is a good buy. You've heard that stuff your whole listening career, right? Well, what I do is give you numbers where it is a good buy. And the way you use this, Palantir, that one I was talking about, goes above 58.11, it becomes a buy tomorrow. That's an example. NVIDIA, above 184.55 becomes another buy. Reddit, above 220.55 becomes another buy. TQQ, we've been killing TQQ in our TNT. People are starting to love making money before the market opens with TQQ. SPY, 638.11. QQQ, 575.55. Hood, 118.55. Cisco, 72.55. And Apple, for the first time in a year and a half, I put it on my buy list. Apple, 232.55. Gold above 314.55. Got a great starting lineup this week, we'll say. What I would do is take these numbers, I'd take a picture of it, print it off, and then here's what I would do, okay? I would take these numbers, yeah, that's right. Take these numbers and put alerts on your computer. And when they go off, I would take a position in. That's what I would do. Exactly what I am going to do, okay? Everybody understand how to set an alert on their trading computer? Okay, it's easy to do. Make sure you do it. This could be money in your pocket. Probabilities for the week tomorrow, week Tuesday, stronger Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Looks like a late week odds on rally, what it looks like to me. Pretty good stuff, isn't it? We'll cover that in train and trade tomorrow. If Jonathan, will you write that down to cover how to set alerts on different on the Tasty Trade platform and on the other? We'll definitely cover that. Thanks for that suggestion. We'll do it tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Key economic news and earnings this week. We got economic news, no major news on Monday. Market focuses like on the global headlines, all that. Earnings, there's your earnings stocks. Notice got a few gold stocks in there. Ciena Therapeutics, Getty Images, wow. AMC Entertainment, okay. Franco Nevada, that's a good one. Tuesday, we got CPI. That's a big number, inflation number. You got to watch it. Comes out at 8:30 in the morning. Look for an announcement on China on August the 12th or before. Federal Reserve officials scheduled for public remarks. Look for a lot of change in tone. Earnings, you got Cardinal Health, SE, and 10 Cent Music, okay? That's on Tuesday. Wednesday, no major economic reports. Maybe some future moves, bullish maybe from what the Fed people that speak and talk about. Earnings after the close, you got Cisco. Thursday, you got PPI. Now I'm going to show you how to connect those two reports to get a trend that we can use to make money. Weekly jobless claims, earnings Deere, JD.com, and Applied Materials. That's on Thursday. Friday, what happens on Friday? Retail sales. That'll be about 8:30 in the morning. Expect to show consumer spending trends. Industrial production, capacity utilization, gauges the strength of manufacturing. import prices, see if there's any inflation from trade. And then the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment comes out for early August reading. Flour Foods reports. Y'all know what Flour Foods is. That's bread, right? We're going to make some bread on Friday. Maybe not in Flour Foods, but we're going to make some bread. 5 things to watch next week. You got the inflation data on Tuesday. Very important. People will be looking and keyed in on that Tuesday morning at 8:30. Global releases, central bank moves around the globe. Australia rate decision on Tuesday. German CPI on Wednesday. Australian jobs report on Thursday. Friday, you got the China macro data. China really becoming focused in U.S. retail sales and the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment. They'll shape our economic strength and inflation pressure. Corporate earnings surge. More than 120 S&P 500 companies report earnings this week, including Disney, McDonald's, Uber, Pfizer, Live Nation, Warner Brothers. Results will give insight into consumer spending, pricing power, and how companies are navigating inflation and global trade uncertainty. You know, with all the reporting going on with the S&P, we're getting a real good trend. A lot of beats on earnings. You would expect that with a higher market in store. U.S.-China truce deadlines at August 12th, and tariff and trade risks. I think that it's being minimized by the amount of money they're bringing in, okay? And then Friday, we have President Trump meeting with Putin in Alaska. All right, I want to talk about this. It's very, very insightful, I think, to help you. 3 phases of trade repair. If I put on an option trade, if I bought an outright call and the trade's not working, meaning I'm losing money, I'd go sell the next strike up with the same expiration. It'll bring in premium to reduce my risk, amount of time and money I got to put into it. Does everybody understand this strategy I've developed for trading outright options? Give me a yes if you understand step 1. Very simple, but it makes a big difference. Ask the people in my small class, we had 4 trades on, 4 trades that we did this, made profit on all 4. All right, what happens? If I go to step 2, meaning I still don't get any sugar, it's buzz fly time. Here I sell a debit call spread, okay? On day 2, after selling the first one, I'll sell a credit call spread on the top to reduce my risk exposure even more. Everything's about, if a trade is not working for you, start thinking to get in a bunker. Give yourself some time. You can do this. You got $1 at risk, you can get it down to 25 cents, which gives you 4 times as much time to have it pull a rabbit out of the hat. Does everybody understand this brilliant strategy I have? Brilliant, I'm telling you, it's brilliant. The third thing, or that was the third thing right there, it just misnumbered, okay? Well, no, there's a third thing. Let me go back. 72-hour rule. Exit options after 3 days if not making money. Everybody tells me, no one's ever told them that with options. And people that come in person tell me, Tom, it really helped turn my account around by following that one rule. I think everybody ought to use that as a escape hatch if they're not making money after 3 days, okay? Easy to do, just got to remember, you put it on Monday, 3 days later, you better be making money. Does everybody understand the simplicity of what I just said? No, Neil, this applies to directional trades up or down. Okay, perfect. Always think, when you have a losing trade, and I tell people this, think of that trade as one of the next 10,000. What do I mean by that? Put it in the rearview mirror and move on. Take the money you salvaged and put it in a good ticker. Think of it that way, okay? I've seen people hold on to trades, and then when they do, they end up being big losses instead of small losses, okay? We don't want to do that. Now, we'll watch the market trade tonight. What time? I'm going to test you. What time do you expect to hear from me again live tomorrow? What time? What's the earliest time you expect to hear from me in the morning? Jennifer says 5:30 a.m. Right. That's right. That's when I get up and analyze the market in my T-Buzz TNT. Okay. Now, what trade is geared if it sets up the trade at 10 o'clock? What trade have I designed? Sunrise. Let's talk about that. That's the first trade of the week. Let's talk sunrise. Sunrise signals were created to let everybody have what I would call an algorithmic look at the market to remove bias, okay? I do it in the first few hours of owning it, Steve, first few hours. For example, I'm going to answer your question, but I want you to focus, Steve. This is where you're really going to make some money if you join this, okay? But here's what I want you to do, okay? Everybody got, hey, Tom Harlan, longtime student. If I put on a trade, say at 9 o'clock in the morning, after the market opens in the morning, and after the first hour, I'm not making money and the market breaks below my reference bar, I'm going to hedge it up. Because if I put on a trade, I expect it to go higher, right? My reference bar is going to tell me or to sell the call. This here is designed to get you on the right side of the market early in the day. Sunrise. It monitors these signals all night long. The market started trading right now. Already we start seeing what I would say tomorrow's market, because you got stocks like Palantir is at 188 right now. Palantir is. If you go look at Palantir as an example, let me give it to you. I got it right here. Let me look at it. I got it. Let me give it to you. Here it is right here. It's higher tonight on the opening. By the way, stocks open at 8 o'clock on Sunday night. I don't know if you do that. And now it's higher. If it's bullish in the morning during sunrise, then hey, we got our first trade of the week right there. That's how it works. I want to let's do some math here, okay? If I put $1,000 into a trade and I sell it an option, say I pay $1 for it, and I sell it for $1.30, how much money am I going to make on that? Let me repeat. I put $1,000 into it. That's 10 options. I'm going to make 30%, right? Yeah. That's what this is about. This is what I'm targeting in the morning. Each and every trade alert is generated in real time, sent directly to you if you're part of it. Because the morning you join us, you'll get in our Telegram channel and you will see it. Our exclusive members only Telegram channel. Don't have to search for alerts. They're right there. It tells you which option that we're going to do, what ticker we're going to do. Get it through email and everything else. The full sunrise works 5 days a week. The time it works is, write this time down, 10 minutes after 10. 10 minutes after 10. Right inside that Telegram channel. Starts at 8. That's the setup at 8:10. Each morning it goes through it, finds the stocks that qualify for going up and some stocks that go down. Look what happened back on June the 11th. Let me come back. Palantir. Speaking of Palantir, it got you long at 132. Think about that. What if you bought the stock on that first long of Palantir this hunting season? You'd be up, 1,000 shares, you'd be up 50 grand. If you used options, you probably made options Stu, which is a lot of money. Anyone followed the process, placed a quick trade there, would have made 484 bucks on a simple speculative option play. Palantir, you know exactly, it was still a good trade. At 10, runs the scan, it matches, cream of the crop, ideal entry criteria. Simple. It's really like two steps, 8, 10, and 10, 10. Match, holler bingo as you place your trade. Live alert hits, you get your entry price, your profit target, and your stop loss, you're ready to rock. Right in the palm of your hand. All automatic for you. Just what would happen the very next day. This time it was on MU. You know where MU is right now? Sunrise was there. It's 118.91 right now. You see how to build a portfolio with Sunrise by watching these stocks? Unbelievable. There's the ticker. There's the current price. There's the option. Pretty simple. There's your 30% we target. There's your stop loss. It's all right there. It's all in there. Which you made the following instruction, MU a piece of cake, you made the trade, comes out, 10-10, and spent time wherever you are, where you want to, until 11 when I want you up for training and trade. Maybe you went out for some breakfast at that time and saying, I got to get back because Tom's going to be back on at 11. Or taking your dogs out for a quick stroll. Pretty dogs. Hey, how about a round of tennis? Only come back a few hours later when things work out and find a nice big winner at $476 on MU. It scans, it tees it up for you. 2,400 in just a few minutes work. You gotta love it. Absolutely. Now that little trick to make sure they work out, these trades close automatically. We set the orders right when we get in, where we're wrong, where we're right. We set it, forget it. The profit lock technique. Pretty simple, because with just a few quick steps after you get to trade, you set it and you're ready to go. You got peace of mind knowing your order's in there, you just wait for that sound. Hit your target, locked it in. Now, as a member, you get a free PDF describing in detail how to use the profit lock on every trade. But Sunrise Signals is a fantastic program for beginners, experienced traders alike. Of course, you can always trade the underlying stock if you prefer, like you should have done on Palantir, on Micro. I have a course to teach you about options my way. Should have named that Frank Sinatra, shouldn't I? Options made simple. Combining over 100 years of experience and expertise with every option strategy under the sun. Our team created a condensed video course to take you from rookie to veteran. And what's so beautiful about it, you will know stuff that most people think they're veterans know. You'll know stuff they don't have an idea of what we teach. We teach you how to win. Do you like winning with me on options? Come on. Do you like winning with me on options? Well, go through this course and get all the techniques down. Right inside the members area, as soon as you join, live masterclass on Sunrise this week. And each and every Sunrise student who joins is invited us to join free. The Origins of the Sunrise Signal, I've been doing it for years. Now we got a program. You can find it on your own. I'll teach you how, if you want to, how to place the trades, how to follow everything going on in Telegram. Very simple. It's like the ABCs, isn't it? Barbara wrote, my training is extremely helpful. We do put a lot of time and effort to make sure you get it. The worst case for me is if I give you a great trade and you don't understand how to do it. That's like just talking to the wind. We will teach you the steps through our training. That's why we have Train and Trade. Polly shouted, hey, great training. Stays focused with what we teach. Well, when your account's rising, you should be focused, right? Train and Trade sessions have been priceless. and they're getting better and better and better. Let me give you another big surprise. We did a class years ago on Daybreak Master Class, focused on trading in the pre-market. Use the same information, just gives you a good thing. Instead of charging you for it, we're going to give it to you for joining. The sunrise signal lets you sleep in and come in about 10 after 10. The techniques are there. You follow along, you do it, and you're cooking with gas. And you get to keep it forever as thanks for joining the sunrise signal. Now, 2401 would be a fair price, but because I'm live and want you to be part of my first trade of the week, what time will I do the first trade of the week? I want to make sure everybody understands that point of what I've been talking about. What time will I do the first trade of the week tomorrow? If everything sets up, it's going to be at 10:10 in the morning. The sunrise. Now, let's cut the price down where it won't be a barrier. Special bonus everyone is going to love. We take $1,000 off the retail. 1401. We also, with the track record we have, it's getting better, better, and better. Now that I've taught it, we're winning 4 out of 5 trades. We're cooking with gas. Each winner is capable of delivering every 1,000 you put in, $250. That's the way you do it. Favorite features, how affordable they are. We keep the price down. That brings me to the last bonus. I hope you have many successful trades. We'll sponsor the first one for you. We'll cut the price down to $1,099. Drop the link. Let them see the link, Adam. Let them see the link. Let's get the people in. It's time to choose. Be part of it. Use my algorithm, and you got it. This is one of the best bets out there. Might as well get started on the right foot tomorrow at 10:10. Follow the trades in the sunrise signal all week long. Go to dtitrader.com/sunrise. Let the sun come up. 904-706-3532. If you got any questions, they're here to talk. I'll be glad to sit there and answer those questions. If you got anything holding you back, if you can't get through, or you don't want to hit the link, put your name, email, and phone number, and I'll make sure they call you tonight to make sure you get on board and you navigate into the Telegram channel. I don't want you to miss it. Go to 904-706-3532. Or if you know how to do all that stuff, hit dtitrader.com/sunrise. They're standing by to help. Got a bonus. What's my bonus?
T-Buzz, that's your bonus.
You put it in there?
Yep. Whatever you want.
Why don't I do this, Adam? I pick out every day of this week and try to give 5 bonus trades inside sunrise. You like that idea? Starting tomorrow. What do you think? That'd be paying $1,500. We made $300 per trade, right? And I was right on all 5. Y'all like that math? I'll be looking at sunrise at 10:10. All my current members just got a big bonus for being in there. All the new members, get in there tonight. Make sure. Why do I feel so confident? Let's call it. Because it works. I'm going to teach you how it works. And so in the morning, I'll be looking to play bingo with you. So any questions that you have, I'll be glad to answer now. I'll be back tomorrow morning. And of course, check your Telegram channel at 10:10 to 10:30, that 20-minute period. And then we'll discuss it when we get into train and trade. How you like that? You know, last week, everybody had the profit on Oracle before we even got to train and trade. Adam said, Adam just announced, if you buy 1 year right now, it's a BOGO. You get 2 years. Whoa. Does that apply if somebody wants to extend their current program, Adam? I guess it does, doesn't it? If they buy it tonight, again, they get an extra 2 years. That means if you got 1 year, they'll get 3 years. Goodness gracious. If you're already a member. All right, we got a special going on tonight. Thanks, Adam, for letting me know. Folks, can you tell I'm pumped up about this week? Do you sense a feeling of confidence going into this week? Here's what Herman Britt told me in Sawgrass. He just typed it in there. Tom, I once told you, 3 things are for sure: death, taxes, and if you listen and follow what Tom says, your account will rise. Herman's been with me. That's a strong statement. We ought to put that on our website. That's a great statement. Thank you, Herman. Yeah, Robin, I would, because you can mash the 2 up and have, what was that gum they had, double mint? You get two flavors. This is 2 flavors. You got an early flavor and a Genesis flavor. David just says he concurs to what you said. Let's get a double mint. Make it happen. Folks, I'm pretty excited about this market this week. We should see an extension. That's why train and trade will be important. First, I'll cover the topic. We'll get into everything. We're going to have a great day. I'm in front of you tomorrow. Think about this. Why not think Mondays are important? I'm in front of you tomorrow, live, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock for futures, and 8 o'clock, I'll come back again. And boy, that's going to be a good one. Robin, put your name and phone number in there and email, and Adam will make sure it happens for you, okay? By getting a hold of Jeffrey. All right? He'll reach out and make sure it happens. All right. Remember, Palantir last week was up. PLTW was up 22%. We got to get us another Palantir this week, don't we? Pretty cool. Make sure in T-Buzz TV, that way you get the current information I post every morning. Just going to be a great week. If you're new, do not worry. If you don't know what direction to go, you attend train and trade, you attend this, you will be happy. If you write down the 10 tickers, set alerts, these will help grow your account over the course of the week. In summary, we want to make sure you understand how to use the tools and you do well. As one of the students just said, you can have fun earning while you're learning. Yes, you should get the Sunrise link in your sign up. You should get it for Telegram. If you don't, send an email to Roe at DTI Trader. He's a trouble fixer. He'll get it, make sure it works for you. Folks, it's going to be a good week. Who's going to be part of it's the question we're asking tonight. Who is going to be part of what we call a great week? You're going to learn, we're going to educate you, and we're going to try to find the opportunities with you tagging along. James, thanks for being the first through the door. You're going to love it. I know a lot of people, do a lot of different things. It's about educating yourself to the DTI approach. And I'm going to tell you, if you educate yourself to the DTI approach, you go through the reference bars, you learn how to protect yourself. You're going to be off on timing. There's going to be trades that don't work, but you got to know how to fix those trades before they get seriously against you. And that's what I covered tonight in my 3 phases of success. Okay. If I was writing a book today, it would be titled 3 Phases of Success in Trading. What I gave you will save you a fortune when it comes to options. All right, we got a game plan. That's what tonight is about. We know what the news is going to be. We know when I'm going to be live. Only thing I can think of, let's get this week going, right? Let's make it happen. Thank you very much, Adam. Great session. I'll see everybody on the flip side. Now we have a longer version Adam can play if you want him to play of Sunrise. All right, see you. Hey, Laura. See you tomorrow.
Hey everyone, 1 second. For those of you that if you want to see a little bit more about Sunrise, I'm about to play a recording. I just gotta find it. But it goes over a little bit more details about the program. Here we go. All right, it's about to play. Let me know if you can hear the audio.
Thank you for joining us. We're here to talk about Tom's incredible Sunrise signal, a new way to target $250, $500, or even $1,000 a day before lunch, all thanks to a signal that fires before the opening bell even rings. So you don't want to exit this browser. You want to stay with us because we're talking about important stuff here. And one of those things that we go over every time we start one of these is that the profits and performance shown are not typical. We make no future earnings claims. You can always lose money in the markets. The trades expressed are from historical back-tested data in order to demonstrate the potential of the system. The average return per trade, winners and losers included, was 11.91 per trade, 11.91% per trade. And every example you're going to see today is based on a $2,000 starting stake, unless we say otherwise. So if you want more information, you can go to the DTI homepage. In other words, what we're saying is there are going to be losers in trading. There's no black box miracle system that prints out winning trades automatically. The whole purpose of what Tom does and all his work with traders is to give folks an edge in the markets, which you do very well, Tom. But if you can't handle a losing trade, then you really shouldn't be trading with real money, because losses in trading have occurred and will occur in the future. If you don't know me, I am Stephen Ground, and I am excited to be here today. We've got a question for you. What if there was a way to target $250, $500, or even $1,000 each day, all thanks to one signal that fires before the opening bell rings? I'm talking about a way to target a couple $100 a day or more while most folks are still stuck in traffic on the way to their boring day jobs. Now, for some of you tuning in, that might sound far-fetched, but as you'll soon see, according to the trading legend joining me today, it's now possible thanks to one of the most powerful, overlooked signals in the market. For example, look what his study shows could have happened back on May 21st. While most people were dreading the start of the workday, we've all had that feeling, thanks to a little-known signal on CoreWeave that took place before the opening bell. Anyone could have clicked a few buttons to jump in right after the markets opened and watched as the stock exploded higher all day long, handing over a $508 payout in just a few hours. Pretty impressive, Tom. Then the next day, same exact thing. While most folks were still swapping stories at the water cooler, trying to pass time at the day job, anyone who would have caught the sunrise signal on Tesla, which fired before the markets opened, could have placed a quick trade right after the opening bell. And when things worked out, watched a cool $473 hit in their account before the end of the day. And then, just a few days later, same thing. While most folks were stuck in boring meetings during the day, anyone could have seen one quick signal on NVIDIA, again, firing in the morning before the opening bell, and then placed the trade while they were out for a morning walk, maybe grabbing coffee, and cashed in with $491 when it was all said and done. It's all thanks to this one incredible, powerful signal that fires each morning at 8 a.m. Eastern that we're going to break down for you here today. My guest, Tom, calls it the sunrise signal. Love that name, Tom, because just by checking this one signal after the sun rises each and every morning, you can use it to target $250, $500, or even $1,000 or more before the end of the day. For example, let's look back at May 5th from his study. Here's the sunrise signal, lighting up like fireworks at 8 a.m. And as you'll soon see in just a moment, that was a surefire sign that the stocks would trend higher later in the day. So all anyone had to do was click a few buttons after the opening bell to place a quick trade, and then come back later to see a quick 25% return, this time on MU. Now, let's say someone had put $2,000 into that trade. Again, that's the stake we're going to be talking about with every example from here on out, unless we say otherwise. That would have been enough to pay out a handsome $500, all by checking one signal before the opening bell. They didn't have to wake up at the crack of dawn, which is good because I'm no good at that, Tom. I know you are. They didn't have to stare at stock charts. They just needed to check one quick signal before the opening bell, wait a few minutes, and then place a trade. That's it. And the beautiful thing is, while we almost always get an opportunity each day, some days we get more. Like that very same day, May 5th, we were just talking about, the sunrise signal picked up on not one, not two, but three high-powered entries for us. The first one, on that Micron example I just showed you, $500. The second one on GLD, one of the hottest assets in the world right now, which could have paid out $457 that day. And then the third one on QQQ, which could have paid folks $404 before dinner. None of these on crazy penny stocks or anything that's hard to trade, all told from that one day following the sunrise signal, the signal that fires before the markets ever open. Anyone could have collected $1,362 with a few clicks of the button. Now, for most folks, that's like adding an extra paycheck with just a few minutes work, all before your morning coffee gets cold. Now, as great as that is, we've only really scratched the surface on what this sunrise signal is capable of, which is why we have the man here next to me. Because before the end of this briefing, he's going to reveal the real opening bell that most traders don't know about, how anyone can spot the sunrise signal before the markets open, the 30-minute no man's land that is killing your profit right now, probably every day you trade, the simple double confirmation step to help protect against market reversals, and how we've made it quicker than ever to follow along by automating the whole thing, as so much more. Tom, I know your team put a lot of work into that. But first, I want to properly introduce today's legendary guest and the mastermind behind these groundbreaking sunrise signals. I know a lot of you know him, but the man behind this breakthrough began his career during the 1970s. In 1992, he was one of only 50 professionals to be handpicked by the CME to receive his very own Globex terminal. And he even helped manage a firm so successfully that it was eventually bought out by the $7.9 trillion institution, Morgan Stanley. But this man's Wall Street legacy pales in comparison to what he's delivered for his students since founding DTI back in 1996. Just hear some of the very best stories from some of his top students who have followed his work. Jim P. wrote in to tell us he made a total of $2,060, a great way to start the month. Please pass along my thanks to Tom. And then there's Ken, who said, I love its simplicity, a great tool to trade, picked up an extra $3,200 today. And I love Manny O's story. He says, just to let you know that I've had my 5th win in trading, a 135.3% ROI. You're the greatest and the most patient with me, Tom. I know those are some of the best stories from students following along with none other than trading legend Tom Busby. You've seen him on CNBC, CNN, Bloomberg. You may have read his books. If you haven't, you certainly should. The Markets Never Sleep, Trade to Win, and Winning the Day Trading Game, which is a lot of what we're going to talk about here. The Markets Never Sleep. And I'm very excited for you to be here today, Tom. So thank you. Can you tell us more about the sunrise signal and how you discovered it?
I'm excited and I'd love to. As you mentioned, I built my career on trading the 24-hour markets. And the 24-hour markets are the key to everything you'll see today. In fact, the details I'll share with you today are even so important that I even published a whole book on it, The Markets Never Sleep.
Great book.
You see, most people assume the trading day starts at 9:30 when the opening bell rings. The networks love to run their shows around it. They throw a big party for it every day. But if you're only focused on what happens after the opening bell, you're actually missing the most important signal in the entire market. Because the truth is, Wall Street's day doesn't start at 9:30 like most people assume. It starts much earlier, at 8 o'clock a.m. As soon as they fire on their computer, setting their first trades of the day, they send a signal that can help us tell the direction for the rest of the day. That's powerful. And by following that signal, which hits every morning at 8 o'clock, we're able to hop in on some of their biggest bets once the markets open. They ride it higher all day long. For example, look what happened in NVIDIA back on May the 13th. I love it. On May the 13th, right at 8, Wall Street fired off the sunrise signal. And I'll explain soon, this meant that NVIDIA had a darn good shot to soar higher all day long. So, Stephen, had you set a basic trade, you'd walked away with a quick $508 on NVIDIA that day.
That's pretty awesome.
Let's see it again, this time on Micron back in April. Now, back in April, the headlines were calling for economic doom, as usual, but that really didn't matter because once again, on April 24th, go check the date, sunrise signal fired at 8. No, so anyone could have simply ignored the forecasters, which is not bad advice, and taken 2 minutes or less to set a quick trade, knowing that MU was likely to head higher all day long. And anyone who did that could have turned and banked $491 with just a few clicks of the button. So each day, hundreds of Wall Street traders, pits, and countless algorithms come online right at 8. Just look at this chart on average volume in the early morning. There it is. As you can see, there's very little activity before 8. But then look what happens. A massive volume spike right at 8 o'clock as Wall Street wakes up. Then when Wall Street places its bets on where stocks are going to go for the rest of the day, before most people are even paying attention. Now, of course, you don't have to be active at 8 to reap the rewards from the early birds on Wall Street. You just have to watch the sunrise signal. Remember that name, then place a trade right after the opening bell to help piggyback on the stocks they most likely are going to send higher for the rest of the day. For example, look back on April 24th. This one on Palantir.
Great stock.
Now, back in April, we were in the midst of tariff chaos, and the markets had whipsawed like crazy the day before. VIX was still highly elevated, making it very difficult to predict where stocks would move next unless you knew about that sunrise signal. Because that morning, while the markets were quiet, Palantir jumped like crazy at 8 o'clock. There's a signal, surefire sign that Wall Street was waking up, starting their trading day. And when it did, the first thing they wanted to do was pile into this stock. Then our sunrise signal telling us that the stock was primed to go higher all day long once the confirmation came, and that's exactly what happened. Look at that. And anyone who jumped on sunrise signal when the markets opened could have made a quick $456 in a few hours. You see, Wall Street loves getting in early on some of their favorite stocks well before the opening bell rings. That's because by starting their day at 8, they can trade after they've had a chance to process all the overnight news, while the European trade desks are still open, and before any major economic news drops at 8:30 in the morning. And when Wall Street starts buying a stock in the pre-market, you'll often see that stock run higher all day long. Meaning anyone who can spot the sunrise signal in real time can potentially ride those waves higher for a shot at quick payouts. Like with the NVIDIA example from May the 27th. That was the first day back from Memorial Day weekend that had left the markets reeling. With more tariff fears on deck, how could anyone be confident that the market would open higher the following week? By checking the sunrise signal, of course. Volume started jumping on NVIDIA at 8, just like we'd think, and the sunrise signal was confirmed. The stock was ready to move higher. Then shortly after the markets opened, NVIDIA shot higher just as the sunrise signal predicted, paying out a nice $474 to anyone who followed along.
Tom, that's really impressive. Incredible stuff you're showing us here. Because on just those two sunrise signals, the last two you covered, any trader could have picked up an extra $930 in just two trades. Not bad. Someone who'd been twice as confident could have scored $1,860 before the weekend hit. Tom, that's enough to help folks finally spend the weekend how they want to. Maybe cover the green fees almost anywhere you want to go, or even a joyride for two in the car of your dreams. Really doesn't matter how anyone spends the money. What matters is that folks could have had that flexibility, and it's all thanks to the sunrise signal. And Tom, you're honestly no stranger to showing folks these kinds of returns. Just hear some of these top stories from students in your services. Laura P., she's been working with you for years. I've met Laura. She's great. Listening to Tom puts money in your pocket, even on those crazy days. Yesterday had 9 trades, all winners, $2,200 profit.
That's a good day.
That's a real good day. And then there's Denise W., who wrote, so far I've had only winning trades, but more important to me is how much I learn every time. You're big on education.
Absolutely.
And then here's Bruce L., who put it simply, when I follow you, Tom, I make money.
Well, that says enough, doesn't it?
Tom's committed to helping you all the way through the trade. But Tom, this sunrise signal is something brand new that even Laura, Denise, and Bruce are going to be amazed by. So tell us, can we make money on just any stock that Wall Street moves higher at 8 a.m.?
Of course not, Stephen. If it was that easy, everybody would be making a killing off the sunrise signal already. Let me remind folks right now, there's no system that's perfect. We have seen some great success in our research, but losses can and will happen. That's just part of the trading game. Fortunately, you don't have to guess at the top stocks of the day. You just have to know what to look for. This is where the education happens, and more importantly, when to look for it. Let's talk about the opening bell again. When the major players own 8 a.m. and at 9:30, the floodgates open for everybody across the entire market. Not only are the vast majority of retail traders lining up to finally react to overnight news, there's a flood of trades that made overnight that are finally processing at 9:30, that first 10 minutes, 20 minutes of the day. That surge creates the biggest volume spike of the entire day, and dwarfs the volume at 8. But don't worry, we got a solution. Take a look at this chart. Do you see that spike after the opening bell?
I mean, it's huge. You can see it.
That's what happens right after the market opens. And so you tell people don't get in right then. And it can ruin you if you're not careful. I call it that 30 minutes of no man's land. It used to be called amateur hour. Because if you step into it, you're likely to get hurt bad. You can see in the second chart, that orange line shows how much stock prices bounce in the first 30 minutes of the day. In over 40 years, I only found one way to navigate no man's land successfully. Stay out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because while Wall Street might be wading through the chaos, quietly adding to their positions they started building at 8, there's no way of knowing when the opening bell hurricane is still raging. Fortunately, you don't have to wait long. Right after 10, the dust starts to settle and the clear pack leaders continue their charge higher. Look at one more time at this chart. Pay attention. Right at 10, the chaos drops off quickly. The initial flood of trading activity dies down, and we can quickly see which positions from 8 are still trending higher. The ones that made it through the madness are still going higher, or the ones that give us a shot to target $500 or more before lunch. For example, take a look at another example, NVIDIA, this one from May the 6th. As always, we saw a pre-market volume spike right at 8 o'clock, and the sunrise signal showed NVIDIA moving higher right before the opening bell. The biggest volume spike of the day, NVIDIA sank during the chaos. traders jumped in right at the opening bell would have already been selling out and running for the hills.
Yeah.
But if you'd waited half an hour time-wise and look how quickly the volume drops back down to normal levels, and almost as soon as that happened, NVIDIA started moving back up, so the normal reaction, and that was a surefire sign that NVIDIA was a top stock for the day and was ready to soar. And that's exactly what happened the rest of the day. Anyone who'd seen the sunrise signal, waited for the chaos to die down, and watched the stock start to climb at 10, could have snagged another $500 on NVIDIA before quitting.
That's impressive.
Simply by waiting till after the opening bell and trading the stocks that passed the test at 8 and 10. We're able to set ourselves up to target $500 or more, then slam the laptop shut if we want to, like with Palantir on May the 30th. Now, you probably know it's been a wild year for Palantir stock, but late May was a bit of a rough patch. As the end of the month approached, Palantir suffered 3 straight losses, and the MACD had crossed strongly into bear territory. To be naked eye, it didn't seem like a good day to go all in on this tech stock, unless you knew about the sunrise signal. In the early morning, the markets were dead quiet until right at 8 when the volume started climbing fast, and sunrise signal fired right there what we expected to do, more than enough to tell us that Wall Street had shaken off the bad news and were bullish for Palantir on that day. But if you jumped in right at open, that would have been a mistake. Volume spiked just as we think would happen as the bell chimed, sending stocks into a tailspin for the first 30 minutes, and over the same time frame, volume cooled down, came back to normal. Then 10 o'clock rolled around, it was clear Palantir was ready to rip, and you could have had high confidence that the stock would jump from there. And sure did, absolutely soaring over the next 60 minutes. Look at that. That's what you want to catch. And anyone who jumped in at the right time could have scored $500 on Palantir in just over, a little over an hour.
Wow.
Now, Stephen, I know our audience is sharp as a tack, but let me run through just one more quick example to show you exactly how powerful this sunrise signal is.
Please.
So let's look at AMD on May the 23rd. And there AMD had a rough start in 2025, sinking all year long and then getting hammered during the tariff panic. In fact, that very morning, NASDAQ published an article encouraging traders not to panic yet, despite an awful start to the year. But that didn't start quite the storm in the early hours of the market until you guessed it. You got the time, 8 o'clock. Volume spiked immediately at 8, sending AMD in reverse. A clear sunrise signal projecting the stock could move higher all day long. Anyone who'd seen it would have ignored the rest of the pre-market movement. Turned out when it continued to chop around in no man's land, watched at 10 for the crystal clear sign that Wall Street was back in charge. They rode that stock higher all day long. Then this time collecting a quick $508 in the process.
Tom, that is an incredible example. I mean, that's so clear on the chart, every step you're talking about. And if my math is correct, those 3 trades you just showed us could have added up to about $1,508 in added cash for folks. And Tom, each of those trades could have cashed in before lunchtime. It's really incredible. Now, I'm impressed, but of course, I'm not surprised that you're once again showing your traders how to seize the chance for some quick cash from the stock market. You've made a career doing just that. Just hear some stories from Tom's most successful students in his other flagship programs. You've got Carlos G. from Texas, great guy. Good morning, Tom. 1 week ago, I bought a 25-cent option, and the next day I closed it at $125.
Do that once a week, and it solves a lot of problems.
That sure does. That was 5 times my original investment, a lot of money very quickly. Then there's Bobby. He says the program's amazing. He's up over $2,000 just today. Like you said, that's a really good day. Or how about Emmanuel from New Mexico? You're a great teacher. I made around $2,200 from one trade. Keep up the good work. Tom, as much as I love those stories, I can't wait to hear from traders who follow your sunrise signals from now on. Heck, I'm almost tempted to quit my day job and focus on these signals each and every day.
Well, Stephen, I'm flattered, because these sunrise signals really can be a game changer, and you got to have it, because I should be clear. If you have a day job, don't quit it.
Okay.
Of course, there's nothing guaranteed with these sunrise signals. You should never risk more than you can afford to lose. And like with any other strategy, there have been smaller wins and those that didn't work out along the way. But more importantly, you don't have to quit your day job to follow these signals. because as we've seen time and time again, you only need a few minutes, a couple at key times during the day to follow the sunrise signal.
That's a really good point, Tom, and I'm sure a few folks will be relieved to hear I'm not giving up on my day job just yet. But I have to ask, what's stopping folks at home from following the sunrise signal as soon as the markets open again?
Honestly, Steve, there's nothing stopping folks from jumping in on the next sunrise signal. In fact, they could set their alarm for 8 a.m. each day and get to work looking for the best opportunities. But think about it. If you just wanted to track the S&P 500, that's 500 stocks, you'd have to monitor at 8 o'clock every morning. Think about the work there. And then again at 10.
Yeah, that's a bunch.
Meaning you'd be spending hours in front of your computer that could have been spent sleeping in, doing the crossword, or even taking a morning joyride. With that much to do, you might have missed winners that our research team found on stocks like NVIDIA in April, QQQ 500 in May, 508 in MU in June. And I can't blame you. I might not have seen them either if I was on my own. But fortunately, I have a whole team of experts who help me do this. The DTI team has over a century of combined experience in the markets. With the powerful software, with our expert team, we're able to code a sunrise algo specifically designed to track these opportunities. And not just manpower, we spent over $500,000 to build a custom software that helps us track these sunrise signals.
Wow, that's a big investment.
Turning hours of grueling, mind-numbing work each morning in just a few clicks of a button. Each morning, the algo scans the market for sunrise signals right at 8:10. That means we already know that stocks were set to trade before the opening bell, which ones are teed up. Stronger signals get posted to a private Telegram channel with our members. There's no need to wake up early because the fun really begins at 10 o'clock. That's when algo picked the best of the best stocks that survived the opening bell chaos and are still trending higher. Like our study shows happened with CoreWeave back on May the 2nd. Traders could have spotted the sunrise signal or just read the update in our Telegram channel. You know the name now. And even though the market's open hot that day, sunrise signals show there's still a lot of gas left in the tank. Our readers would have had only checked alerts shortly after 10.
Look at that.
There it is, identified. Still climb almost 5% from there. That's big money. $483 in a short period of time. Nobody had to dig through 500 stocks. Nobody had to open a ton of charts. It was teed up right for you and just wait for that sunrise signal and place the trade. They could have done it again on May the 27th because that day the sunrise signal fired on Tesla. By 10, it was clear the momentum wasn't stopping, but our readers wouldn't have had to be studying charts. They could have waited for the alert at 10. Tesla identified. Tesla soared all day. And anyone who followed the alert could have turned $400.92 richer by the end of the day.
Tom, I'm blown away. I know for a fact you've let a very small group of your top students beta test that sunrise algo already. In fact, a few of your top students have already sent in love letters to your team. Bob told us, love the Sunrise Trade service. It gives me the biggest bang for my buck of any service out there. And then I love T, who said, it's like getting a personal meeting with Tom early in the morning. The sunrise signal and a cup of coffee are all I need to start my day. And Tom, with everything you've shown us today, it's no surprise your traders love it. But last I heard, the sunrise signal was a closed and reserved beta for only your elite members. So I guess I have to ask, how long do the rest of us have to wait?
Well, Stephen, I got good news about that. First, I want to say something. I think the sunrise signal has always been important throughout my entire career. It's never been more important than it is right now. You probably don't need me to tell you that the markets now are driven by news more than ever. But in fact, according to the Financial Times, automated trading systems now dominate market volume with news reading algos reacting to headlines in as little as 300 microseconds.
Yeah, I can't compete with that.
But when did these algos fire on? Right at 8 o'clock in the morning. So if you're not paying attention to the sunrise signal right now, you obviously don't have the prayer keeping up with Wall Street, let alone the algos that power them.
That makes sense.
But simply by following this one signal each morning, keep it simple, you'll be miles ahead of the average Joes. and ready to target 250, 500, even 1,000 before the opening bell even rings. Just like I'm going to show my traders how to do every day. And for that reason, I'm going to do something I didn't expect to happen for months yet. Because you're right, Stephen, the Sunrise beta test is closed, and it was supposed to stay that way a lot longer. But over the last few weeks, we couldn't wait any longer. I had my team drop everything and focus on it, get ready for immediate release. And today, I'm happy to say we met our goal. We're able to open the doors months ahead of schedule, right in time with this market. So I'm thrilled to invite 100 of our listeners today to join me inside this brand new trading service, Sunrise Signals.
Love it.
The only algorithm monitoring the Sunrise Signal designed to help traders target 250 bucks, 500, even 1,000 or more before lunch, and keeping it simple and straightforward. Each and every trade alert is generated in real time, sent directly to our readers wherever they are, whatever they're doing. Because the moment you join us today, you'll be invited to jump inside our exclusive members-only Telegram channel. Gotta love Telegram.
Absolutely.
You'll never have to search for alerts. It's right there in front of you. You never have to dig through spam email to find the latest trade alert. And each day you'll get the full Sunrise experience right inside the Telegram channel. It all starts at 8 with the Sunrise signal. Each morning our algorithm will go through its deal. We'll send you a list of stocks firing on that morning. You won't have to lift a finger. Just scan the list anytime before 10. You have the hottest trends in front of you, top opportunities, which if you were to come back, handy back on June the 11th, look at this. That morning, the algo told us to go long on Palantir. Look at the price. It's not just for a day, it lasts. Anyone who followed the process, placed a quick trade at after 10, could have scored big on that $484 winner on options on that day.
Impressive.
But you wouldn't have had to guess at 10 about whether Palantir was a good trade, because each morning shortly after 10, our super-powered algo runs another scan, and only the cream of the crop that meet our ideal entry criteria make the cut. When they do, we send out the live entry alert directly to you on the go, giving you the entry price, the profit target, and stop loss, even information for selecting the options, right in the palm of your hands. It can't get simpler than that.
Cannot.
Just like what would have happened the very next day, the alert would come to your phone with explicit instructions on exactly what to do. You have the ticker. You have the entry price, your options instructions, your target, your stop loss, all the information you need and the rules of how long to hold the trade. It's all in there, which would have made following the instructions on MU a piece of cake. So you could have tapped a few buttons when the alert came to your phone at 10, spent your time ever how you wanted to. Maybe invite some friends out for a casual breakfast, or taking the dogs out for a quick stroll, or even played a few rounds of tennis, only to come back a few hours later when things worked out, find a nice big winner on MU. $476 in just a few hours.
Wow, Tom, that's impressive stuff. I mean, if someone had put just $5,000 into each of those two trades, which happened back-to-back days, they'd be sitting on $2,401 in profit with just a few minutes of work. But
Don't forget about the $1.
absolutely. But Tom, I have to ask, some of these are quick-moving trades you've just showed us. So wouldn't you need to be glued to your phone to close them as winners?
Absolutely not, Stephen, because there's a little trick you can do to make sure that when they work out, these trades close automatically without breaking a sweat or even looking at your phone. I call it the profit lock technique, and it's a busy trader's absolute best friend, because with just a few quick steps, anytime you place the trade, you can have a peace of mind knowing that the stock hits the target, your gains will be locked in. And as a member, you'll unlock a free PDF telling you exactly how to use the profit lock on every trade.
Tom, I've actually used the profit lock a few times myself. It's saved me more than once. I'm a busy guy. I'm sure our audience are busy too. I've won trades while I was in long business meetings, one time watching a soccer game, even one time while I was driving home in a thunderstorm. Definitely can't look at your phone then. Folks are going to love that. But let me ask you another question. Do I need to be some sort of options expert to get the most out of Sunrise Signals?
Steve, that's a great question, but the absolute answer is no, you do not. Sunrise Signals is a fantastic program for beginners or experienced traders alike. Of course, you can always trade the underlying stock if you prefer, but if you're ready to start your options trading journey, we got you covered there. Because the team at DTI has built what I believe is the ultimate education course on options. It's called Options Made Simple, combining over 100 years of experience and expertise with every option strategy under the sun. Our team created this condensed video course to take you from a rookie level to a veteran in no time. It's already waiting inside your members area as soon as you join. But Stephen, I'm not stopping there either. I'll also be hosting a brand new live masterclass on the Sunrise Signal. And each and every student who joins Sunrise Signals can count on this. You'll be invited to join us absolutely free. We'll cover the origins of the Sunrise Signal, how you can find it on your own if you want to, how to place the trades, how to follow everything going on in Telegram, and so much more. Simple, straightforward. Think of it like your live blueprint on getting the most out of your new membership.
Well, Tom, I know you've charged $497 or more for classes like that in the past, and they've been worth every penny. You are an education guru. You are a mastermind, in my opinion, and your top stories from students in the past who have attended your classes agree. Barbara P. wrote in to say, your training this morning was extremely helpful. Thank you for all your time in teaching and training. Very much appreciated.
She's so nice and always smiling because I know she's making money.
Polly shouted you out too, saying, thank you, T-Buzz. This is great training that allows me to stay focused on the market targets. And then there's Oscar. He said, the train and trade sessions you've been having have been priceless, and the education presented is worth the time and gold. Thank you for all the hard work you've put into providing that education for us, Tom. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but I bet the Sunrise Masterclass will be more than worth the cost of admission of a loan. Speaking of which, though, I do have to ask you, what is this going to cost folks, Tom? I mean, just a moment ago, you showed us two trades that could have paid out $2,401 in a matter of days, but members are going to get access to every Sunrise signal the algorithm spots right inside the private Telegram channel, which could honestly add up to hundreds of alerts over a single year. So what is that going to cost? $5,000, $39.97?
Steve, I agree. Access to the Sunrise Signal is worth a whole lot, but folks should breathe a little bit easier. Before I reveal today's price, though, there's one more big surprise I want to show people. A few years back, Roger Scott and I joined forces to teach folks the Daybreak Masterclass. At the time, we were focused on trading in the pre-market, and we offered a 4-week class at a rock-bottom price of $295. Now, to be clear, you won't need to trade in the pre-market to make the most out of the Sunrise signals. We'll be clear about that. But the techniques we taught in the Daybreak Masterclass can give you a huge advantage in understanding the Sunrise signal. Today, I want to offer you the recordings of that class for free as soon as you join the brand new service. They'll be yours to keep forever as a thank you for joining the Sunrise Signals.
Tom, I wasn't expecting that. I honestly remember the Daybreak Masterclass. It was incredibly helpful to help me understand what makes stocks move before and even after the opening bell. I can't believe you're now including that for free for every new member of Sunrise Signals. So what is it going to cost, Tom? I can't even begin to think of a fair price to unlock all this.
Well, Stephen, you mentioned earlier that these two most recent trades from our study paid over $2,401 in a few days with a couple clicks of the button.
Yep.
So initially I thought $2,401 was a fair price for 1 year of Sunrise Signals. After all, we're talking about the potential for alerts of over 100 opportunities each and every year, but I know times are tight right now, and I wouldn't want the price to be a barrier for anybody out there for entry. So I've cooked up two special bonuses I think everyone here is going to love. First, I want to cut the price nearly in half with a $1,000 founder's discount.
Wow.
Takes it down to $1,401. But I'm not stopping there. I'm proud of our track record we built. According to our study, Sunrise Signal triggered a winning trade alert 77.8% of the time. We're winning nearly 4 out of 5 trades. And with tight stop losses, our losers have averaged less than 30%. Each winner has been capable of delivering $250 for every $1,000 invested. Do the math. And with all that said, my favorite feature is how affordable these Sunrise signals are. Because in our study, the average trade has just cost $302 to enter.
Wow.
And that brings me to my last bonus. I want to go ahead and sponsor your very first trade with the Sunrise signal. Hopefully the first of many successful trades to come, meaning I'll immediately knock off another $302 off the price of your new membership and bring the total price down to $1,099 for your first year. So here we are. We're going to drop the link in about 20 seconds. It's time to choose. Keep running headlong into the teeth of the algorithms dominating Wall Street, or follow their trades each morning with our Sunrise signal. Now it's time to make a decision. Go to dtitrader.com/sunrise or call 904-706-3532 to talk to one of our experts. Go to dtitrader.com/sunrise or call 904-706-3532.
Tom, that's an incredible deal. I can't believe that you're letting folks get in for that, Chief. That's unbelievable.
Now, folks, that price got you excited? Let's knock their socks off. I'm offering one more insane discount limited to this webinar only. If you join immediately, I'll upgrade your membership for not 1 year, but for 2 years at no additional charge.
Wow.
That's right, an extra year on the house. I want you to take full advantage of 2 years with me with the Sunrise signal. But I have to stress, it's a limited time offer. Our first 100 people who join today will get the second year free. So click in the order form. It's not too late, and you missed out. I'm sorry. Go to dtitrader.com/sunrise or call 904-706-3532.
Sure about that deal, Tom?
Claim it now.
By my math, you're putting $100,000 on the line for folks who want to get in today. The first 100 folks. That's incredible. Now, I can't wait to hear stories from the first folks who join your Sunrise signal. I'm sure some of them are doing it as we speak. Might hear stories like these from top students in your other flagship services. Wayne wrote in, there is no one in this business that does a better job of teaching the ins and outs of the market. Tom cares about your success. There's no one that does it better than T-Buzz.
Thank you, Wayne.
Kevin wrote in, he's been acquiring a T-Buzz since November. This week he was up $6,000. Tom and his teams will teach you how to not make mistakes and lose money. I love that. And then SP put it very simply. Tom Busby is one of the best timing traders I know and glad to be learning from him. And Tom, a lot of that timing has to do with this Sunrise signal. Hopefully, several of our listeners here today will be the next to share a story like that.
Take the word hope out and do it, because it all starts with that decision.
I love it. And as you say, chicken, fish, or steak, right, Tom?
That's right.
Time to make your choice. So go to dtitrader.com/sunrise or give us a call, 904-706-3532. Our team is absolutely incredible. They're waiting to take your call, or just click the link in the chat. We love having folks join new programs, and the Sunrise signal is incredible, Tom. I can't wait.
You know, it's the only way I know of to watch which stocks are going to move, when they move, and how to move, and then how to take advantage of it, most likely piling in right in the morning. So showing us opportunities you might never see otherwise. Like I remember our example we gave on Palantir from May 30th. Look at it. At the end of the month approach, it suffered 3 straight losses. MACD turned bearish. The technicians were going that way. To the naked eye, it didn't seem like a good day to go all in on the tech stock unless you knew about the Sunrise signal. In the early morning, the markets were dead quiet up until 8. Remember that time when the volume started climbing fast? And the Sunrise signal fired right when we were expected to, more than enough to tell us that Wall Street had shaken off the bad news, and we're bullish on Palantir for that day. So if anyone had jumped in at the open, it had been a mistake. Got to wait. Volume spike just as we think it will at that time. The stocks in the tailspin for the first 30 minutes, but over the same time frame, volume cooled down. It was clear by 10, Palantir was ready to go, and all we could have had that high confidence to take the trade on that stock, jump right in. Look what happened over the next 60 minutes.
Wow, absolutely.
Absolutely great. Hey, scored 500 on Palantir in just a little over an hour.
Tom,
that's quick.
It's so incredible. It's so detailed, every step of why this works, how it works. It makes so much sense. So I hope folks are going to dtitrader.com/sunrise or call 904-706-3532 to be a part of this. Tom, I want to dive into the chat here in a minute. We've got a few folks here who I'm sure have asked some questions, but first let me get some of the most common questions I expect we're going to hear. How much do I need to get started trading this?
Well, the answer is about $302 for each trade. I'd recommend having about $2,000 in capital dedicated to the service. That way you're not putting your whole account at risk while you're doing this.
Makes perfect sense. Well, do I need to be an options expert?
Absolutely not. You can trade the underlying stock if you want to, or you just access the training and members area where you can learn about trading options in no time.
I love that. You've got options.
Got every,
No
we
pun
got it. We
intended,
got it
but you've
covered.
got
I've been here
everything
before.
covered. That's
Been
right.
here before.
Now, how many trades are there going to be in a year?
It's hard to say exactly, but with the Sunrise potentially firing every day, I expect no less than 100 trades minimum over the course of the next year.
Incredible value. That's like less than $10 a trade at the
Yeah.
price you're paying.
Really?
Well, and that's only if you count 1 year. If you
Right.
get in for the 2 years, it's less than 5. Are we risking big 100% losses if the trade goes against us?
No, as nothing's guaranteed in the markets. DTIs always believe in cutting your losses when you're wrong. That's no exception. Our average loser from the studies averaged under 30% because we have tight stop rules with every trade.
I
we
love
place.
that. I've been in plenty of trades. I hate to admit it
Yeah.
next to a legend like you, but I've been in plenty of trades where I'm sitting there knowing I'm going to take a loser, not knowing when to cut.
Turned
me.
into a submarine that didn't rise, right?
Exactly. So that's a great rule of thumb. Does the sunrise signal work on any stock?
It really does. The reason we've seen a short list today is because we focused on strong trending stocks to begin with. That way we're never fighting against the overall markets. It's another way we've helped build a high win rate on the Sunrise
I
signals.
love that. So it's kind of got a built-in watch list of the
Yep.
hottest stocks you're watching
Yeah.
anyway. Is there any kind of guarantee with this service folks should know about?
And this is the beautiful part. Of course, our team will give you 14 days to join. Get in on Telegram. Take advantage of today's offer. Attend the trainings, the masterclass. If you're not fully satisfied, we'll refund every penny of your membership.
Okay, what if I want extra help?
Hey, we have an incredible customer service team, customer service live every Monday from 10 to 1. As a member, you get free access to these sessions to get hands-on help with all your membership questions.
That's 15 hours of live
Right.
assistance that our customer service team puts on every week. That's why we call them the best in the business, Tom. When's the first trade going to drop?
Hey, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, join the Sunrise Signal and make sure you don't miss out.
All right, folks, go to dtitrader.com/sunrise or call 904-706-3532. I'm sure we've got a few questions here in
And
the chat.
claim your special founders discounts today.
Absolutely. Only the first 100 get that discount, so want to make sure that we get those folks in there. Let's see if we've got questions here. I saw Dr. Janet said she Sunrise Signal is a separate channel. Yes, it is a separate channel, so you want to make sure you're over there once you're a member. All the instructions are in your members area. All right, let's see here. Tom, how long are these trades lasting? What's your rule of thumb?
Well, we looked at Palantir, it was 132. Go check it today if you see how powerful these are for not only short term, but long term. It identified when to get in Palantir, and today it's like, I think, $155 a share.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
a
quick.
rocket.
That's pretty quick.
Unintended.
That's why you got to know about the Sunrise Signal right there. That says it all.
Now, can you tell me, Tom, does this work theoretically to the downside too? Or are you
Yeah, of
able to
course it
trade
does.
both ways? So even if the markets went belly up somehow, I know you don't think that's going to happen this year,
I've been wrong before.
but well, I've never seen it, but I guess
Yeah.
it could happen.
Hey, Dr. Janet, she's one of our new students. She's loving it.
We love that. Thank you for being a part of it,
Yep.
Janet. We are very glad you're here and very glad you are in the program. Tom, what should folks do first? Do you think they should check out the options education or should they dive right into the Telegram channel? What would you?
Well, I would do both. I would go to the master class that we've done. We've done 3 or 4. We only promised 1. We're at 4 now. I'm going to do some more because I like to show people after I get feedback from you what you need me to show you, because it's pretty clear to me. I've been trading for a long time. A lot of people are new.
Yeah.
So I hear questions say, hey, we'll spend a little time covering that. I don't want anybody to be uncomfortable when they make a trade. And so by doing it that way, I eliminate those obstacles to getting away you making money,
Tom,
which is why you do it, right?
That is right. I have been to your classes, both online and in person. I've talked to a lot of your students. I'm sure some of them are joining us right now. Hello, if I've met any of you before. I've seen, grown men break down in tears at how much it means to you to have your education. And I'm not being hyperbolic. They said it changed the life of them and their families, Tom, and I know that means a lot to you. You've got
Absolutely.
kids and grandkids you care a whole lot about too. Your education is second to none. I mean, the Sunrise Signals is incredible. What you've
Part
done.
of the 24-hour market. You
Yeah.
got to have this. You can do it
Absolutely.
manually, or you can have the computer do it. That's
What-
what I love about it.
What you've done with this algorithm, you poured $500,000, probably way more than that now.
Way more.
in-
than that. I saw that amount and I thought, I'll take that discount.
Yeah. But as good as all that is, just the classes alone,
Right.
worth the price of admission, getting access to you. You always go above and beyond for your traders. Folks, if you've got more questions, drop them in the chat. We'd love to answer them. Tom, anything folks should know that we haven't covered about the Sunrise Signal, or just anything you want to reinforce for folks?
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at the time on your watch right now and know the following. If you get joined as early as tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we're going to be rocking and we're going to be rolling with Sunrise.
Love
Think
that.
about that. Don't miss out.
I love that. That's absolutely amazing. Well, folks, one more time, if you were one of the first 100 members to join from this link, which I don't have a way of checking, so we may have filled it already, but you'll know once you click the page. Go to dtitrader.com/sunrise. You're going to get your second year absolutely free. Tom, that's an unbelievable discount you're offering, folks. But if you want to join over the phone, we've got an incredible team. They can answer all your questions. Just call 904-706-3532. I'm not going to shout our team members' names out because I'm going to forget some, but I know there's a couple, Kelly, Jeffrey, Caitlin, Sean, that you've been working with forever.
Sure.
Tom, and there's a bunch of great folks on the phone. One more time, folks, dtitrader.com/sunrise. Or don't be a masochist, just click the link in the chat. That's a lot easier. Or call 904-706-3532. You'll talk to a real person. Thank you, Tom, for the work you put in to build this. Thank you for getting your team ready to have it for us today so folks could join. I'm really looking forward to being part of this, and I can't wait till 10 a.m. tomorrow, 10 a.m. to be more specific.
There you
So,
go.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks, everybody, for joining
Thanks, David.
us.
Enjoyed it.
You have
Thank
a wonderful day, and we will talk to you inside Sunrise Signals.
You got it.